Welcome to the Wild Magic School Bus. This is Drew, but you may know me as Zeph. This Dungeons & Dragons podcast may contain fantasy violence, language, and adult themes. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. Now, get ready for your paradigm to be shifted.
Thank God Carly doesn't have to hear this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wild Magic School Bus, the most unprofessional D&D podcast you will ever hear. I, of course, am your DM, Calvin Piper, and these are the illustrious group of idiots who get to play D&D with me. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves.
Hi, I, of course, am your illustrious DM, Calvin Piper. I'll be playing Zeph.
Love it.
I mean, I guess I can be Calvin too. My teeth are too small, but I am also Calvin, and I play Glyph.
I'm going to say I'm absolutely not Calvin because he doesn't speak in this timbre of voice, but, you know, it's fine. It's whatever. But I play Ohiana.
Timber, he would.
Timberwood.
Hey, this is Preston. I forgot what Calvin sounds like. Like, he literally stopped talking like 5 seconds ago, and I'm lost. Just like my character, Lucius Kane, Azamar Warlock.
Is this the episode where we find out you've been deaf for 17 weeks?
What?
1, 2, 3. I'm idiot number 5, and I play TBD, the male variant human, Calvin.
Calvin, you didn't tell me you were a playable class.
What level are you, Calvin-wise?
5.
I am Michelle Piper, and I play Calvin Quinn.
Calvin, can I ask you a question? Serious question, though, for real.
Sure, Drew.
Is level 5 the highest level of Calvin one can reach?
Is your DEFCON 1?
Like, do you have to multi-class at that point?
No, there is infinite levels of Calvin.
Nice.
It is... To reach the height of Calvin is unobtainable.
Oh, I see. I like that.
Even for Calvin?
Did I say that?
We said it was unattainable.
With that in mind, let's go ahead and jump into episode 21 of the Godscar Chronicles.
I'd really like to... Shit.
So the last time we were here, our band of adventurers had finished a contract working for a professor of the university named Azumir Stowe. He asked the party to track down an ancient artifact that he needed, and in exchange would introduce them to some people that he knew. The party was able to do that. They were able to track down this artifact, but not before discovering that one of the people responsible for stealing the artifact was in fact like a brother to them. In fact, it was a brother of one of them. Brother to Ohiana was responsible for stealing this ancient artifact. His motives yet to be determined. But nevertheless, the party was able to subdue him and another student and bring them back to the university, where they were offered a induction into what's known as the Commonwealth, a group of artificers and the like who seek to keep the world in balance through subtle means. And the leadership of this group promised to be in touch to provide the party with help in times of need and a little quid pro quo, as it were. But as they finished that contract and finished that little side quest, the party came to realize opening night. The night of the theater is soon upon the... Excuse me, not the theater. The night of the circus is soon upon them, and someone in the group owes a show to opening night. The party went to the circus fairgrounds to begin to prepare and plan for what they were going to do, but not before they ran into a bunch of ill-advised townsmen who were not too happy with the range of races and creeds that were here at the circus. Pretty soon, some words were exchanged, some hurtful things were said, and a fight broke out. And the party decided to use a little bit of fist and a lot of ingenuity to scare the pants off of everyone involved, sending them scurrying back to their homes, hopefully never to return to the circus. But In this scuffle, some of the actors of the circus were injured to the point where they are unable to perform this evening. And the party has now found themselves not only spectators of the show, but active participants. And that is where we find ourselves tonight. So, as opening night draws ever closer, you have a few hours to prepare and plan for what you are going to do opening night of Dimitri's Circus. So, what are we planning?
Okay, so what are we planning?
Well played.
So I'm not entirely sure about everyone else. As you all know, I've been part of the circus for quite some time, so I had intended to simply pull one of the many routines I have out of my hat, as it were, and perform that.
As it were.
Well, so what do you have before that? What did... Sorry. I'm trying to say you have us now?
Yes, so I am open to the possibilities that should you all want to join in to make this a more splendid opening act, you are more than welcome to do so. Essentially, this particular one was going to be a retelling of the story of Levistus in a more dramatic storytelling style, utilizing some of my spell casting and charismatic capabilities to play that out. And I mean, if you chose to partake in said and perhaps act behind the words that I'm saying, that could be a possibility.
People love visual...
I mean, I think that sounds grand. You've already got the
We have
story
parts.
and we can just augment it to fit ourselves in. That's probably a lot better than my idea, which was I could summon a few lesser demons in the middle of the ring and we could all kill them in front of
What?
us.
Wait,
Hoping that we succeed and no one else
I'm
is
actually really on board with this idea.
Why are we killing these things for no reason?
There are rules, not many, but there are some rules for the circus that would probably violate a lot of them.
Like HIPAA.
The DM is shrugging at us right now. Maybe.
So,
You don't
this-
know.
I don't know. This may come as a surprise, but acting isn't really something that I'm good at.
No surprise there.
So if you need someone to do like some dexterous, cool gun shit, and I just start like taking my revolver and spinning it around,
like I am like hiding.
like I've got you all day, but I can't really captivate the crowd with my words.
Yeah,
So,
beautiful words.
Well, it's kind of just thank you.
Well, it sounds like she would be the one doing the words.
True.
All right, so we're just the dummies, and she's the pantomime.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. That actually makes my life so much easier.
If you wanted to do something involving your shooting abilities, that is also at your discretion.
Yeah, that sounds great to me. I feel like I could do that.
You think we could workshop one of your stories to include all of us?
You could all play roles
Creative liberties?
within the stories. It's not that the script I have is pretty much set as it's
Okay.
already committed to memory.
So it's more of a suggestion then.
Could be suggestion as long as you don't fuck up too badly. It should be okay.
Okay.
Like we're fleshing out a scenario live in front of an audience with no rehearsal.
We will have rehearsal. Thank you.
I will say, I'm willing to get shot, and I'm willing to shoot.
Hey, that's good because I need somebody to be aimed at.
Tit for tit, you and me.
All
Let's
right,
do it.
let's go. We could.
So we're gonna have a duel between the two of them. Does that fit in your story? Any dueling?
I would pay money to
There's
watch that.
not specific dueling.
If you have an intermission, would a duel fit there?
Yes.
I mean,
yes. Yes.
A duel could
Sorry,
very
that's
well
out of
be
character. I'm so sorry.
its own segment in the circus.
I mean, like Silver the Soldiers, I could probably split one of her arrows in half as she fires it at me.
Oh, holy. Let's try it.
And if I don't, I shoot her in the shoulder. It's fine.
And you get shot too. Let's
people,
go.
and
In the
people
face, probably.
And people love violence. That's true. Everyone loves violence.
Okay.
I mean,
No.
like
That's
You're
a
gonna
great
use
idea.
pothole to give me disadvantage.
Like, as I'm aiming, I'm just like pulling the middle claw up just above his head.
So I think to
how we do it.
really
It's like
build
useless
the
coverage.
suspense of this moment, we bill it as never having been rehearsed before. And I think we should follow through with it.
I think we should actually not rehearse.
Hey, what if we call it?
Well, maybe we can,
No, the
but them
intermission-
shooting each
yeah, the
other,
intermission-
not
yeah,
rehearsed.
Yeah.
Hey, Kenneth, how do you feel about
completely
calling it a
adult.
one shot?
Yeah, I
Nailed
think
it.
that sounds
Kenneth's
right.
not going to do a one shot.
The greatest one shot of all time.
Arguably the greatest one shot of all time. Yep, tune in for it.
All right, that's settled.
On our Patreon.
Not even on Patreon. That's the first thing behind the paywall is Michelle and I rolling
Shooting
dice
each
for
other.
5 minutes.
Actually shooting each other in real life.
Okay, actually, I
Colin's
was gonna roll
combo.
dice to make sound, but then I realized that me like emptying the dice out of the bag like rolled a natural 20, so I'm just gonna keep it there.
Sure, for the rest of the game.
That's how the game works.
That's all
Oh.
of your rolls.
I rolled a nat 20 7 hours ago.
Calvin, I just noticed that I set down my dice and it ended up on a 20, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that natural 20.
I was never saying that. I was just gonna say I was.
Matt, does Tabidi fly?
Not technically.
Sounds like space for a loophole.
Can glide.
Could he
Probably.
be used as a javelin?
Ooh.
Do you take fall damage?
Oh,
I don't think you do, dude.
Slow
Do you
fall.
ask people that? Do you take fall damage? Does gravity work on you?
How much does gravity affect you?
No, I'm just asking.
I met some weird.
I mean, I
people.
can
Asking for a
like
friend.
try to not fall as hard with some air attacks or something.
Oh, that's. I think people would actually like watching that. Was it? No, it wasn't Richard. Richard helped make it, but there like this one guy made a giant tower and then fell in like a little pool of water. Like he could do that with no pool, and people are like, "Oh, we're watching this guy die," and it's like, "No, he's not," because you.
Yeah, but
that could be
here's
asked.
the thing. Tabidi's a kid.
Yeah.
So even if he's okay, I feel like when people see, oh my god, that kid's doing something, they're probably going to want to stop the show.
You totally overestimate people, like in their concern for your well-being. They're here to see a show.
I wonder
Wait.
if we can.
They assume that
Not
circus
afraid of
folk are
heights. That
taking
helps.
these risks are doing these things at their own risk.
Also well rehearsed too.
So I'm just piecing this together in real time in front of everyone.
Okay.
You mean to tell me
Yes.
that the person on your back was at one point the leader of the circus and he just died and you're like, oh, I guess I'm gonna... And that's how you guys
Huh?
are the dead?
No, that's
Wait,
no,
wait.
no,
What
no.
are we talking about? Are we talking about LaFera? We're talking about the guy?
Yeah, I feel like that's what it is. He was doing the high dive and he just ate it.
No, I joined the circus like way after I met him.
Okay.
That's true.
I
I just
thought
wandered in
trying to-
here and they're like, "You're very charming and very lovable. Come in here and be a creepy looking dude." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll do that." Hey, you should blink. You were not the first person to tell me that, actually.
I know
It-
I'm
it
not.
was- it was
I know I'm
Dimitri.
not unique or special in any
You
way.
are very special and
No,
very unique. Not everyone talks like you.
I mean, there's like 75 different warm-blooded species of humanoids, so you're not very unique.
Are you cold-blooded?
Absolutely, yep. That's why I always have this scarf on. Hands get cold. All the time.
Oh, it must really suck for like.
Yeah, scarves really help when your hands are cold out here.
Yeah, you put them up in here like you're fucking Bane.
And you're cold.
Have you ever heard of mittens?
I did, yeah, actually.
But his claws
so-
rip them to shreds.
Yeah, but well, here's the thing. Beyond that, I did meet Mittens at one point, and that son of a bitch punched me in the mouth. So no, I will not be having Mittens.
For the listening audience, that's a
There was a-
Mittens is a character you don't know from another campaign.
In another world, there was a shimmer in reality that almost tore into.
Oh my
but
gosh,
we
when you
avoided
blipped
it.
into the astral plane, like who's to say you didn't just blip on over to this timeline?
Alright, so if I
Honestly,
am gonna summon
he's-
the lesser demons, we're
if
gonna
anyone
need
wants
to
to have
find
a
the
crossover-
blood of a humanoid that's been
I'd
killed
love it.
in the last
Kill the
24
healer,
hours.
jeez.
Zeph,
Yeah.
we still haven't found that demon last time that got away. Should probably not.
What
do that.
demon?
I just assume that
Don't worry
they
about
kind
it.
of poof back into
What?
demon land when I do that.
Wait, what?
No?
There's a demon running around?
No.
Don't worry about it.
There's a very wise looking man on the other side of our table shaking his head at me, saying, no, that's
Hey,
not what
hey,
happens."
what are you looking at, weird guy? Get out of here.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so is Tabi actually doing that stuff we talked about? Like, going up like 50 feet up in the air and like...
I mean, it's up to you guys. I've kind of found
It's up
the
to
thing that
me,
I'm gonna do.
really.
It's one of the few things I'm good at doing.
I mean, do you have some roles that Tabidi and I could play in your narrative
Oh, that's true.
to flesh it out?
Well, what are
make it
the
more fun?
roles? What are the roles?
So
So I can
here's the thing.
Yeah.
It is as mentioned, it is the story of Levistus. who is...
Good-looking dragon guy?
No, he's an asshole of a demon. Imagine that.
Who's an asshole?
He is.
No, we can play assholes.
Either one, I don't care. I do not
That was
care.
good.
You do not have to growl. But that's decent.
Oh, okay.
So there's Levistus, there
My stomach
are
goes my tongue.
other demons you could play. You could be a peasant that gets destroyed at some point.
Does the peasant have any speaking lines? Because
No,
I'd like to be a peasant.
It is a monologue,
Destroy me. Yeah.
so no, technically nobody has any
Little
lines.
insight.
No one has lines. It's like it's like interpretive dance, but you're like saying like what we're doing, except like something. I don't like
To an
actually.
extent, Lucius, you've seen this before.
How does it end?
Yeah, you're right. I have. I'm just an idiot.
Levistus ends trapped in the snow in a frozen tundra.
Who traps him?
Other demons.
I mean,
I'll play a demon. I don't mind.
Can you give me your best demon impression?
No.
I bet we can do a costume for him.
We do have a costuming department, yes.
And we'll dress him up like a right nasty demon.
Like the one we lost.
Okay, you keep on bringing it up and like say don't talk about. Don't worry
When the
about
time comes, I'll put an image of that demon into the costumer's head so that they can create the perfect match.
it. I see. Our costume department's great, for sure. Absolutely great.
I don't know, the way you're hyping it up kind of seems like overkill.
Oh no, his hands are broken from the fight.
So just so I'm clear, what are we doing?
Okay, so
Intermission.
the one shot is the most secure thing here because that is so cool.
So Glyph and Kenneth are gonna do
Duel,
a
basically.
Unpracticed, split the arrow.
shooting display with each other and other things, I assume. Yes.
I mean, if you want, we can just shoot targets, or we could shoot.
Pothole could walk around with an apple.
We could do that. Ooh. We could have Pothole walking around just throwing plates in the air.
I like that too.
We'll do that. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do.
Okay. So you guys are gonna do like a shooting gallery-esque display.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
so what if you guys like do the target shooting and then like there's three like parallel from each other and like for several ways and you like boom 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 and then meet in the middle and then you shoot at each other.
With the power of friendship.
I think shooting each other's off the table.
Damn it!
You know.
What if we
I mean,
begin-
it would make for a pretty good
It
show.
would be so cool.
I mean, I could probably take an arrow.
I think I could probably take a shot. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens.
What if,
We'll play it by ear while we're out there.
Yeah.
Kinda feel off the crowd, you know.
Yeah.
Alright,
If they're
so-
into it, we're into it.
all right. What if we begin the show with your shootout, and then the finale is 3 giant plates, and you shoot the first one, and there is Ohiona in her glory, and then the other 2, and there are the other players hiding behind it, and we've switched to a new narrative.
Oh, like we introduce them with a bang, as it were.
Yeah, everyone thinks, well, it's the finale.
was all dream.
Oh no, something new has started.
You would have to run that past Dimitri.
All right.
As
I feel
he
like
had-
he's going to be on board.
He had specifically asked for me to take care of the opening act.
And I hope he booked us for 4 hours because we're
I
really
mean,
going to
what
milk
they're
the shit
doing,
out
I'd
of this.
hardly call an act. It's more of like just shooty.
It's more
a
of a
teaser.
fact.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Well, okay.
Well, all right. Dimitri!
Kazee Glyph.
Is that what you do?
Yeah. Dimitri!
It doesn't. You're just making quiet sounds. He's not nearby, so he does not hear it.
Well, I didn't want to shout in the microphone.
Hey, have you tried using
You
your
could
heart
talk
song?
a little louder. It's not even indicated.
Use your heart song.
Dimitri!
It is.
Okay.
You're ding 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 ding.
Right.
And he gets on the rope, and then he's like, "Grr," and Cold Stone's too off.
What if I do a gauntlet style, a flight around the heads of the audience through various dangerous flaming hoops and whatnot, And then at the last minute, the largest hoop, I'm about to go through it, it starts to fall. People panic, and I cast Mage Hand and lift it up into the air and successfully go through it.
I hope it's a really light hoop.
They're illusory hoops.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll have to have multiple casters down.
The budget is drastically increasing the more you talk.
The more you talk.
We need to hire 9 mages.
We will also need to secure many potions that give us back all of our spells. Specifically ones that can be copied by our dear alchemist over here.
What?
All right.
So I was playing with this on my shirt.
I'm
All right, so we're scrapping the first act.
to break Calvin's game.
Middle act, shoot.
Yes. To keep people intrigued.
All right, that's all.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have your entire story that we're not deviating from. Okay. All right. Because I know how you are. You're like, well, I got a thing in mind. We're gonna do it. No. And so, respectfully, so there's like Levistus, and there's like the demons that like also imprison him. Mm-hmm. And what's the timeline of that? Like, is it
So
first act, second act, third act?
there's not really acts. It's more like a poetic monologue.
Yeah, but
more or
actually
less.
means it's the first performance. Like, act like
It's
someone performing.
I was thinking about play.
Not like, introduction, denouement.
Yeah. I love denouement.
10 minutes to showtime. 10
No.
minutes to showtime.
Okay, so
No.
all right. So I mean, I'm willing to do whatever you need me to do out there. I'm pretty flexible. Like literally, I just fall back, my spine goes limp, and I just.
I told you to keep that under wraps.
Tabidi, what if we get someone to cast a demon circle, a magic circle, to contain the demons? I cast the demons, and then we fly around with you on my back. You jumping into the circle and out of the circle, beating up the demons, and me shooting them with Eldritch Blast.
That's pretty fun.
Hey, can I just say, just so everyone's aware, in case you weren't already,
Through flaming hoops.
if you don't give him something to do, he will keep making more of these.
Oh, so we need to like be like, this is what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we got demon circle, and then what was the first one that you
No,
said?
that's not what we're gonna go with. I'm saying it's only gonna keep getting worse. Oh, Hyuna, could you please?
We'll contain them this time.
Would you like to play a demon?
I'd
In my
love
story.
to. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
I see you are telling the tale of Levistus. Is that our opening act tonight? As sweeping into the tent that you guys have been standing and kind of like figuring out what you're going to do, Dimitri comes swinging in his kind of reddish robes that he was wearing. Now gone, he's wearing this open-chested kind of white shirt with these long kind of billowy sleeves and very billowy kind of purple pants with like a scarf with very many colors tied around his neck and some threads of it connecting to the top of his head. We just kind of got like this garish, just kind of like jewelry. As he steps in, asking about the story. You are starting with this one tonight, is that correct?
Yes, if that is all right.
It is, of course. I fully trust the whimsical yet morose abilities of our favorite storyteller. I see the rest of your friends are planning. Are we coming to an agreement on what is going to take place tonight?
Yeah.
Do you have anyone who can cast a really large magic circle to contain demons?
Zeph, we moved on from that idea, did we
It's-
not?
Possible. What are you looking to? Are you looking to summon demons for a fight?
I mean, if you could also supply me with blood of a humanoid killed in the last 24 hours.
Who says I couldn't?
Well,
I joke. But
What? Oh, no, I
But
guess that one's off
it
the table.
seems-
Sorry, Hyuna, she thought
it seems your idea of fighting creatures is very similar to one of the acts we already have in play tonight. So
Can I be parts of two?
you can be a part of whatever you want. It's I just need the bodies to supply for some of our actors who are not available.
I just keep
Do you
like,
want to both play a demon and fight?
Yes.
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 We are in agreement.
All right. What is your agreement?
We will be willing actors in Miss Oriona's daring story.
You have actors now. This is you have stepped
Can I
up
be
your
actor?
game.
Can I be actor? Can I be actor? Can I be actor? Can I be
I thought we'd already discussed this.
Holy, I don't remember that.
Remember, you're the a-hole, Levistus.
I'm the a-hole? Oh, yeah, I'm the a-hole. That's real. That happened.
And then
Absolutely terrifying.
we'll be fighters in whatever fight you have.
Oh, my ambition for power.
It's
only
not
grows.
much of a fight, but more of a display of more of a display of dominance, beast above men type ordeal. We have a.
I'm not sure which part I'm playing.
If you are
Well,
willing
not the
to,
man part, likely.
if I may, we have a show known as the Master of Beasts. We have a druid who tames the wild, ferocious creatures that we bring out and subdues them in very extravagant and quite comical ways. Obviously, they aren't true ferocious beasts, but we make it look like this. So it must be, whatever is done, it must be done with a bit of showmanship and a little bit pulling of the punches.
How's this?
And he just morphs using disguise self into. He doesn't remember ever having seen a real dragon. But his best guess based on like what his fellow, his features, his friends' features,
Sure.
and the tapestries that he's seen. So I kind of imagine that there's like a perspective problem.
Okay.
Like, one arm's actually smaller than the other because it was drawn from the side,
Are you saying you don't have any like concept of like depth?
He is not quite sure he understands depth in a one-dimensional display.
I love that.
Yeah, mate, that sounds like it's all you. I actually was kind of on board.
They're both on the right side too.
You look like an old English logo.
His wings are actually to the side, like completely to the side, like
2D kind of.
yeah. They're both fully spread, but as if one is forward on his back and the other is back.
That's so scary. That's actually like a
That's way worse.
thing. Yeah. It's like I'm here to intimidate.
One more time.
Stop it!
Perfect. Thanks.
Oh my gosh, that's a perfect Danhausen impersonation. That's better. There it is.
This is art. This is art.
Hi.
You are pushing the limits of Mask in Many Faces, my friend.
It really is, yeah.
Dimitri looks you up and down.
It says look different until the spell ends.
Yeah, I know. Dimitri kind of looks you up and down. Or you could just subdue one of the beasts we already have in hand. That looks far more convincing.
Are you sure?
Perfectly sure.
All right. I suppose.
Wonderful. I shall arrange a meeting with Tyden. He is our residential druid. He can walk you through his act.
I'm like spinning my revolver in and out. I'm like, did you say so it is non-lethal? Like intentionally pull your punches?
For the most part, yes. We don't want to actively injure any of our people.
I just roll my eyes and like put my gun away. I'm like, all right, I'm out.
This is a
What the hell, man?
This is a circus, not like a coliseum or something.
You
Well, I don't
are
know. It didn't really
you
matter.
are using you are marksman, yes?
I mean, yeah, that kind of it's one of the things. Yeah.
That is wonderful. We can certainly use some expert marksman shots, some daring through the needle type aiming and things.
Well, that's where like I was going to do that, but also Ohiana's friend Kenneth. That's why I was.
Thought we were friends, buddy.
Oh yeah, my friend, sir. I don't know. Sometimes you call us.
Do you feel?
Moving forward, after I tripped through that sentence, me and Kenneth, Miss Quinn, as it were, we were gonna do a little.
They were going to shoot each other in the face.
We're not gonna do that. Actually, that was on the table, and then we took it off. We're just gonna
Sounds like quite a feat of skill and ingenuity. I think that would be a wonderful addition to
All
our
right,
show.
perfect. Nice.
You're gonna have a little friend Pothole. He'll just like throw plates in the air. We're just gonna start popping them.
Ah, now that is a fascinating mechanism you have there. Is it automaton? What is
I mean,
this?
it's a person, so you could probably just say, "Hey, Pothole," if you
It's
wanted
a
to.
koboldaton.
Yeah, it's Kobold.
Boltaton.
Now that is something I have never seen before.
The world's only kobold.
I mean, Pothole's not really a lizard so much as he is a lizard.
He also doubles as a nightlight.
This is
Because when he goes tinkle, the whole thing glows.
this
Yeah,
is
I've been meaning to
truly
get that checked out.
fascinating.
It's a chemical reaction. It's natural.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, yes, of course, this would be a great addition to the show. Feel free to fire away at the targets. Just point the opposite direction of the crowds, yes?
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, we can do
Like
that.
the crowds are in like a circle all around you.
Then we shoot
Up
us
or down.
There is areas towards the back where we have most of the staging. We have this, and he does kind of like gesture behind you guys, and you can see he is pointing to the setup that has begun, and you can see this is again a very large tent, but there is a large kind of stage that is set to the back of the tent. This is not like a 3-ring circus where there's multiple things going on. It is one large circuit, like one large
Theater
circle in the middle with everybody kind of setting along on the sides and up. So it's more theater-esque than it is anything else. But it is designed, and Dimitri explains, it is designed so that we put maximum fixation on each of our acts, so that each one is has the full attention of the crowd. We tried 3 rings, but it's too chaotic.
So it's like Cirque du Soleil.
Very much so, yes.
Mr. Dimitri.
Yes.
So I was wondering, for this act, obviously I can't carry Lord Farai on my back all the time. So could we like reserve like a couple seats in the crowd for him?
You want to put the coffin in the crowd?
Yeah.
Maybe he could like burst out at a scary time.
You'd make it a part of the act.
Well, I don't know if he's really
Right when the demons
up
get
for
out
that.
of control.
Never mind.
I would knock, but that's frowned upon, as I learned last week.
We could put a plate right above the coffin, and when we shoot the plate, the coffin door opens, you know, like, and closes again.
Oh, yeah.
You hear a voice. Do not let them shoot me.
It'll be like
No shooting the coffin.
I love that.
But the voice does come back a little softer this time. It is all right. Put me in the back. I shall acquiesce this evening.
He's gonna go take a nap in the back while I do it, I guess.
I mean, you've been carrying around a lot of dead weight, mate.
Oh wait, can you see through my eyes? I never really knew that. I look up. I look like, oh no. Like
You get a little dizzy. You get a little dizzy, but the fear doesn't seem to like.
Is that why you never blink?
I do the okay finger. What?
He doesn't want you to blink because he wants to
I don't need
always
it.
be able to see.
Well,
so
I
he
just
never
really.
lets you.
No, he's just gross.
It's just like.
Stop interrupting the feed.
Every time you try to blink, he stops you.
Anyhow, so.
Yeah,
and Dimitri continues. Perfect. All right. And so we have feats of accuracy and marksmanship. We have actors and assistants to Tidim's event. Is there anything? And we have our opening story. Is there anything else we would like to?
Do I have to do? Oh, I forgot. I don't do voices.
I think you probably could if you tried hard enough.
I think you could probably could if you tried.
I mean, Kason, I feel like you nailed it, actually.
Oh, really? Thank you.
That was impressive.
That was impressive.
Hey, there's a fine
me
line
next,
between
me next.
impressive and just really annoying, and I think he's already flirting with it. But could you try to do Zeph real quick?
Imitation is the
Jeff.
imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery. I am honored that he would try to imitate such a ostentatious
insight
individual
check.
such as me.
Yes,
Make it
it
a-
is quite the honor.
Now,
5.
you make me sound like vampire.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to run the circus.
Are you rolling an insight check to see if he's bluffing you on that?
5.
The 5? Hard to tell.
My name is Dimitri.
Why are you Forrest Gump with a dip?
It's quite the honor.
What's the pick from Looney Tunes? Like
I feel like this is slowly developing into madness.
that's all, folks.
Oh, you mean like a Porky Pig, kind of? Like a Transylvania
Oh, no, I don't
Porky
wanna
Pig?
do that.
Like
That's all,
There
folks.
is no porky pig here. Only the machine.
You want to run circus? You must talk like Dimitri.
It's right there. It's actually...
I think there is some good stuff in this act. We should workshop it.
No, but like I'm actually really good at dancing, so I got this. I'm good.
I think we should get to the heart of the matter.
I really think
Tabidi, was there anything about yourself you wanted to showcase?
I mean, I'm pretty acrobatic, so I don't know if you have any flips and trick type stuff. I've never seen a circus, so I don't know what you guys do.
It's acrobatics, you say?
For some circus, he's
could
performing
use-
in it. That's wild.
I could use your skills in a couple of areas. Are you tied down to one of these other acts, or are you willing to flex?
Just the intro thing, I think.
Yeah, spread your wings, mate.
Yeah, I should be free.
Excellent. I have the perfect part for you. I will introduce you to our dreamers. They will show you the ropes, as it were. Come with me. But the rest of you, prepare, plan, and I will see you all tonight.
So, out of character. So while you're doing the story and performing, you want me to like be tandem, like you describe this part, and then I describe what Lucius is doing in the actual stage.
I'm gonna find a very small,
Like if I'm
sick
to be the
humanoid
actor.
who needs to be.
So more or less, I would assume that you are perpetually acting out to the best of your ability,
Yes.
whatever it is that Levistus is doing.
Yes.
That would be my assumption. Whether you have, I
No, I have
don't know.
ideas.
I was gonna say I don't know exactly how you're gonna have us play this. Whether you describe exactly how it is, or
Try to express.
Oh, this is gonna be step play-by-plays.
Alternate
Okay.
This is gonna be
dragon name.
so.
Libiscuits? Not bad. That's not bad. I kind of like
So,
it.
a little bit of
padding.
insight into the behind the scenes of what is going to happen tonight. Tonight is opening night. You're going to be displaying your acts along with other acts, which you will be able to watch and see how they go. Each act is going to have a series of roles that they perform during their acts to see how well the act is going, whether it's going well or it's going poorly. Your acts obviously depend on your creativity, what you're doing, what you're not doing. I can provide advantage or disadvantage depending on how the situation is going.
Well, I'll take advantage.
Yeah, I'd actually also
time,
like to have that
please.
if you're willing to piss it out. I'll mark it.
Which will be determined at that time. And basically, after those so many rolls, your act will then be finished, and that will determine the energy of the crowd. The more hyped the crowd has become, the more willing they are to throw coin your way. Obviously, because there's going to be people are going to be tossing coin out as part of this, instead of flowers and other things. So the better hype the crowd is, the more money you will procure at the end of the night. The more money you get, the more of a cut you will get from the circus, obviously, as your plays do well or poorly. So, by spreading yourselves out among a few of them, you've given the ability to add to some roles. Obviously, you are all doing your own acts as well, so that'll be a thing too. So basically, there'll be a lot of descriptors as we go throughout the night, as you will explain kind of what you're doing. If you have obviously a monologue or a poem that you're doing, if you're acting something out, if you're shooting things, we'll kind of work in tandem and see how we go with all of that. So, but I leave what your character does up to you. So if you decide to do something, it is up to you to determine what your character is doing. I will not I will not hand you a crutch, as it were, unless you desperately need it, because I hate seeing people fail. That's just a character flaw of mine. Nevertheless, the night approaches. Unless there's any final preparations you guys need or want to do.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Need to go see someone about the blood of a humanoid that has died in the past 24 hours.
Okay.
Just to ask a question.
Make an investigation check for me.
Sure, this is the time to burn your inspiration.
Give me a
You don't even have your dice out.
I don't even have my
Oh, it's
dice.
a lazy 20.
Use your inspiration. You have your inspiration.
This is God talking to me.
Okay. 16.
16. With a 16, you're able to, as you're kind of perusing through the campground, asking around for a vial of blood that's fresher than 24 hours. From a humanoid. You, it specifically says they died.
Killed or died?
Ooh.
Because I want to see how shady this gets.
It's. Let's see. Vial of blood from a humanoid killed within the past 24 hours.
Hey, yeah.
Within the past 24 hours. Okay. You are looking around the campsite, and as you're asking one of the individuals who's like, they're like, sorry, I don't know where I can give you blood. They walk away, and you're just kind of standing there. All of a sudden, from one of the tents, you see someone's pulling up one of the rain flies over a tent. You hear this, psst, hey, buddy.
Yeah, what? Hi.
It's just like Jingle All the Way.
Looking around, you can see there's this short, looks like maybe a gnome, hard to tell, maybe a halfling, just a shorter humanoid wearing this small cap on top of his bald head. He's wearing just kind of simple traveler's clothes. Looks like one of the members of the circus. But he's finishing tying a rainfly, and he is looking like he's trying not to talk to you, but is clearly like getting you to come over in a very overt way. It's adorable, but he's trying to like, over here, come here.
No, you need help with that.
Shh, not so loud.
All right, you need help with that.
Kind of looks back and forth. I hear you're looking for humanoid blood.
Yes, at the very most, like 20 hours old.
All right. And what's in it? What's in it for old Manny? If you
I love Manny.
what's in it for Manny? If old Manny he were able to get you, hypothetically, clearly, if we were able to get you some blood.
Well, what would you like for a vial of humanoid blood? Oh, sorry.
From now on, we'll call it the cheese. All right. So, what can Manny do to get you some cheese?
Well, you can get me some cheese. What would you like for the cheese?
What you got?
Money. Gold.
Tell you what.
Favors.
You give me. I got a better one. You give me some gold. I get you the blood, the cheese.
The cheese. No problem. How much? Yeah. How much for a vial? Wait. I can do this too. How much would you need old me here to pony up for the monster?
What the hell are you talking about, man?
How much gold do you need for the cheese?
Right, yeah, the cheese. 15 gold.
Holy.
For one vial.
Hey, you say you need it in 24 hours.
No, I need it now.
Oh, you need it. Now you confuse Manny. Let me get this straight. You need the blood now.
I mean, I need it before the curtain goes up.
Oh yeah, we can get it before the curtain goes up. Okay. But you need them to be dead within the last 24 hours.
Killed, actually, yeah.
Killed in the last 24 hours.
So I was thinking if they'd been like a hanging or execution or execution.
Hey. Let me tell you something. You don't tell Manny how to do his job, all right? You just give Manny the gold. Manny gets you the blood. The cheese.
15
Manny gets
gold.
you the cheese.
All right. And what assurances do I have that you're not just going to take my 15 gold?
Hey, it's Manny.
Oh, fuck me. That's great.
Manny. All right. Manny, here's what we'll do. Since you're going to be getting the one vial, how about for 20 you get me 2?
2 vials.
I mean, you're going to the same source, right? It's
You don't know that. Do you know that? Do you assume there's just blood available from every humanoid? I can get 2 vials of the same person? Do you know how this works? No, of course you don't.
21.
20 and not a coin more.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Manny.
All right, Manny. Your skills at negotiating make me wonder whether or not you're going to actually come through with this. But sure, here's 20, and deal done.
All right, I get you the blood, the cheese. You just watch. Well, Manny he'll get you what you need.
Dude, you're gonna get some grade A marinara sauce.
And he just kind of he stuffs it in a little pouch and.
I'm gonna summon 3 lesser tomatoes.
No, you're gonna summon Emerald Lagasse.
He just starts whistling and just kind of starts walking away.
And whatever happens will probably be impressive. So.
Okay. So you gave 20 gold to Manny.
Oh my gosh! You summoned the flying spaghetti monster.
Praise be.
Is that how this episode ends?
Yeah.
You guys fighting
us rolling initiative against
Have you guys ever heard of the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
I don't know if that's a D&D character. While you guys keep prepping, I'm going to look up and see if the Spaghetti Monster's a D&D character.
I'm done prepping.
Yeah. What are we gonna do? Practice shooting? We could. We can. I mean, we might as well try it out. Yeah.
I mean, no, I don't want to do it. I feel like I kind of just want to be in the moment when
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Because if you think about it, we've never really practiced a battle to this
true.
point, but we've shot a lot of things in them.
I believe we could hit a plate.
I'd hope so.
Hey, you got extra. You can attack twice, yeah.
Hey,
I could probably shoot 2 plates too.
I think I could probably shoot 2 plates.
We could probably both shoot 2 plates.
what kind of drinks would you guys like?
Spaghetti monsters are a real thing, believe it or not.
A lemonade.
All right.
Looks like we know
what
the
do you
big
want to
bad
drink?
of tonight's episode is going to be.
Okay,
You want
so
any blood that was spilled in the last 24 hours?
That's a pace for me. I'm good. I'll just take like some strawberry kiwi juice.
I think we actually have that. I leave.
opening night is upon us. The crowds from Mecha City are coming in droves. There are thousands of people filling the quickly set up streets of this place. There is music, there is laughter, there is shouting, there is wares being sold, there is food being dispensed. It is a menagerie of sights, sounds, and smells. But you guys are all together in the main tent before the curtains open, before the crowds begin to gather. And the crowds are slowly beginning to fill into this tent and beginning to fill up. You've already heard some of the actors say things about how this is the largest group of people that they've ever had. Now they're already packed. They're having to find ways to get more people into the tent somehow. It is a full night here in Mecha City. And already you can see Dimitri has been going to each individual, and strangely enough, for some of you, no sign of disparity or like stress on his face. He is the calmest you have ever seen. Just giving people kudos, propping them up, telling them they're going to do great, all that stuff. As he finally approaches you guys, you can see he has now changed for a third time tonight. No longer is he wearing the billowy shirt and pant combo that he was wearing before. Now he is wearing this very sleek black suit with double-breasted kind of red buttons that go across both sides. He has a long kind of cord that runs underneath one of his arms, and the hat that he has placed upon his head is kind of like this, almost like silk, like hair, like almost like bridal like veil that goes to the back, and it illuminates his skin, which is glowing with this like orange and red emberous glow underneath, and it kind of like disperses the light almost and diffuses it, giving it this very almost like halo-esque effect. It's beautiful, actually. In fact, you can see as he's walking around, the arms and legs of the suit that he's wearing are also kind of like a mesh coloration or a mesh material, to where the skin underneath is also glowing as well, with his Fire Genasi heritage. But he walks up to your group and says, "Ah, wonderful. You are all ready to go tonight, yes? Excited? Nervous? Anyone?"
I'm dissociating.
Nervous.
It is all right. You'll do wonderful. You'll do wonderful. So, everyone ready?
Yeah, man, I don't think we really have a choice but to be ready, I believe.
That's the spirit. I love it. Showtime, my dear. And he turns around and begins to walk out to the crowd. You can hear as he pulls back the curtain, the large din of voices that were kind of buzzing out there immediately begins to quiet down. As the gravitas of the moment kind of weighs in, and you can hear Dimitri begin to shout into the crowd, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, creatures of all kinds, welcome one and all to the fantastic show. I, of course, am Dimitri, your ringleader and spokesman, as it were. Tonight, we plan to dazzle you with sights, sounds, and smells from all across the lands, from the far reaches of Udal to the crags of Krakodar. Tonight, leave your worries behind, drop your cares at the door, because tonight, we bring you the show." And you hear like these sounds and clapping and stuff like that. And he says, as he kind of holds his hands up and calms, he goes, "Our first act tonight, from far across the oceans, I bring you the weavers of story, the lore masters of our age, the storytellers that bring ageless histories to life. I present to you the Lady of Whispers, Ohiana." And as the curtain begins to open up, Ohiana, what happens?
So immediately she casts darkness
Ooh,
out
Jesus.
onto where
Chills. I got chills right there.
They're
out onto
multiplying.
where the the stage would be. So as she walks out, nobody hears anything, and it's just dead silent.
Okay.
So she gets out into the center of the ring. Her companions following, not too terribly far behind, but also still in total darkness.
Yep.
That's us. Come on, Tabidi.
And then once she reaches the center, she casts Minor Illusion just above her head to where it makes it look like there's stars up in the sky before she breaks into her monologue.
Okay.
Long ago, back before time began and days had no name, there were only the eternal beings. One such being was Levistus. In the depth of the 9 hells, there was only chaos, confusion, and pain. Dark beings of all kinds fought each other. Those who were more powerful preyed on the lesser beings. Factions were formed, sides were picked, and battles raged on.
Thunderclap.
As her companions begin to move, she casts fairy fire on them. So that they're just slightly illuminated so that you can see them a little bit better.
Okay.
Oh,
Of course, she is
interesting.
dramatic, like using her arms to fully, like her full range of motion to tell this tale.
Okay. Go ahead from this moment and go ahead and roll a performance check.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and do that with advantage because of the effects that you've so far cast.
Can we put the glass up a little bit more? Like, what's up?
That's a nat 20.
We're committed to the bit.
But that one's an 18,
That's really good.
and that one's not. So we're going with 18.
Okay, 18 total? Mm-hmm. Okay. As you begin to weave this story, you can hear the last kind of whispers of the crowd have died away, and all eyes are focused on this moment. As the sounds begin to illuminate, as the lights begin to appear within the darkness, you can hear gasps and shocks and just as they begin to see this display in front of them while being enthralled with this illuminating story as you continue.
But then there was one being who set himself apart from all the rest and sought to unify all the 9 hells. They called him a savior. They called him a refuge. His name was Levistus. Through power of might and tongue, he overthrew the reigning faction and brought an era of peace to the 9 hells. However, that peace did not last long. Obviously, they're still acting as she's all doing this.
Okay, so at this point, who is in the act?
Lucius.
I think we're demons.
Zeph.
Lucius is Levistus?
Mm-hmm.
Lucius is Levistus.
Okay.
And during this entire time, I would assume there's collaboration with stage crew to have certain props or something, or is
Sure.
Sure.
It depends on what you want to do.
Okay, so let me look at the script again. So, because we're gonna roll performance checks for the actors.
Oh, you 100% are gonna roll.
Okay, so
While he looks at that, is there anyone else who knows what they're doing off the
Yeah.
top of their heads? Drew?
Zeph has cast Disguise Self on himself and has made himself look like the nastiest demon he's ever summoned.
Okay.
You've only ever summoned one.
Yeah, that's all he's got to go on.
Pretty
right?
terrible.
And actually, he just knows he could have summoned this one. It never actually succeeded. But yeah, so he casts Disguise Self, and he's just dancing around, trying to as best as he can follow what she's saying. War and terror, and when she says Levistus creates this time of peace or whatever, he falls to the ground like he's been cast down.
Yeah, and whenever they do that, Lucius basically coming into a different aspect of himself is carrying himself with so much confidence and presence on the stage, and he goes up and steps up front.
Yep.
And puts his arms out, like Levistus.
Yep.
And then I think during the entire time,
I think because I read ahead of the script.
Sure.
Whenever they talk about him transitioning and becoming terror, I think maybe the stage crew put like a screen that doesn't block out the front, but it's actually just transitionary for Levistus to walk through. And as I walk through it, I would like to cast Form of Dread and become a bigger, more intimidating figure with long, shadowy horns.
Nice.
What is your? Are you just dressed in a costume for this, or how
I would see like it was a very. I feel like there is a costume. I feel like, but also Lucius does have red eyes.
Okay.
And I think there would just be prosthetic horns.
Sure. So you're costumed right now.
I am costumed, but I'm using this Form of Dread to slightly like increase and enhance it.
So I will say first, I need you to make a straight charisma check for me.
That's fine.
To figure out how detailed this costuming has been done, based on what the costuming committee can create.
All right. 11. I'm just gonna use amulet to add a D4 to that.
Certainly can.
Okay. 14.
14. Not bad.
Not bad.
It is a convincing outfit. Definitely gives off a little like kabuki theater vibes, almost too out there, but just enough to like give you that it's not going to detract from your dreadfulness, but it definitely is going to look a little out of place in your Form of Dread, but it won't really affect the rolls much in that way. 14 is a good roll for that. Okay. So that you are dressed up, you are acting as Levistus during this time.
Yes.
TBD, what are you doing?
Since I'm one of the demons in this thing, and she's talking about how there's just like a bunch of demons causing chaos and stuff.
I'm gonna pause right there. Just open it, for the love of God. Just open it right now. Oh my goodness. It's worse when you take 8 hours to open it. Okay. Sorry, TBD. Continue.
Yeah, Michelle.
Oh, shut your hole.
I envision, as long as you'll allow me, kind of like how if you've played Kingdom Hearts, the Heartless just kind of come out from the ground.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I imagine there's like smoke and darkness or whatever just billowing everywhere. So I'm coming in and out of the ground, like just misty stepping random spots. In the
I like it. Okay.
So
It's terrifying.
Yes.
Because we already passed this part of the story, but I would like to say, like, every time, like, when there's, like, a savior, a refuge, Levistus, as I do that arm, like, expanding motion, I would like to cast, like, daylight, and, like, basically, like, you shoot from behind him into where he casts a silhouette, basically, of himself onto the crowd.
Sure.
And then, like,
absolutely.
subside
Yeah, that's good. No, that'll help. Absolutely. Okay. So, you've rolled your charisma check.
Yes.
I need you to roll... this will be dexterity, just a straight dexterity roll, just to see how well you can manipulate the stage as you move to and fro.
Oh, I get 3
and
uses
for
of
you,
I'm so happy.
I'm gonna say you use your masculine faces to look a demon. Just a straight performance check for me.
16.
16. Nice. Good.
Yes. Is it a 9?
No.
Oh, no.
It's 5.
10? No, I mean, okay, 10
plus.
total.
Okay.
10 total? Ooh, okay. So we've got a success, we've got a middle ground, and we've got a failure.
So we rolled for the costuming.
Correct.
Could we roll for like
Your performance does not detract from the costuming, but because you can't do it naturally, I'm trying to see how well the costume adds to your persona. Okay. So that was kind of the point with that one.
Okay.
But these rolls are merely to begin to tilt the scales as she continues, because she's the driving force behind this. So
Yes.
with that in mind, go ahead and continue.
So after she says the piece did not last long, she uses minor illusion again to cast like the sound of thunder throughout to
easy to do.
Just bring like a good shift in this story. Dissatisfied with the boredom that peace in the Nine Hells brought, he came to our present plane, and he became an immediate terror, destroying villages, laying waste to entire landscapes. He became a plague upon this land. In his absence, the Nine Hells revolted. The strongest among them plotted to overthrow his throne and capture him until the end of time. They plotted and schemed to lure him back to the Nine Hells with threat to disturb the so-called peace he had brought. But instead, they set a trap. Thunder again. As the story goes, he gloriously stumbled straight into their plan, falling prey to the punishment they had in store. For him, it is a frozen wasteland, a prison where his powers are confined, impotent, and absolutely benign. And there he stays, frozen forever in the snow and ice, exactly as he should. And then she casts darkness again.
Okay. All right, for that roll, I will say, based on your performance and what they all added to your thing, I will say you get advantage again.
Performance again?
Yep, performance check again at advantage.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Good roll now, Liz.
Yeah, so it's a dirty 20.
Ooh, very nice. As you cast darkness, you hear the crowd begin to erupt into polite applause, but definitely more hyped about what's to come. It's like, oh, that was really good, like clapping and stuff like that. Eager to see what takes place next. You did very well. Congratulations.
Primed it.
As the darkness fades and people are clapping, Dimitri appears again, this time in another part of the tent, and goes, "Where would we be without the lore of our lands? A round of applause to our storyteller, Ohiana," as the crowd claps again and stuff like that. But the night is still young, friends. There's still more in store. I give you now acts of daring, acts of bravery, acts of skill. I present to you the Flying Brothers 3, as he kind of raises his hand up to the top of the canopy. You can see there are a couple of different individuals who are positioned down in the crowd, some stagehands who begin to cast spells, and you watch as light spells begin to appear up in the air as 3 Aarakocra all stand up on like perches up there. They all begin to salute Dimitri, salute the crowd, and jump off into the air before their wings come out and the crowd begins to gasp as these 3 birds begin to fly throughout the tent, weaving and willing their way through right over the crowds, over the crowds, causing them to duck out of the way, up and over, doing flips, using not only their wings but their arms and their legs to jump and flip and spin in such ways that are glorious. You watch as 2 of them meet up near the top and grapple each other, closing their wings around each other, begin to spiral down to the bottom. As they begin to tumble down, the crowd begins to react, seeing that they're getting closer and closer to the bottom of the tent. Right inches above the bottom of the floor, their wings expand and they fly out one more time. And as they do, you see 2 other casters cast spells on them as these colors begin to gleam off of them, and smoke, like colorful smoke, begins to billow off of their wings as they fly out into the air. The crowd loses their minds, clapping at the Flying Brothers 3. They rolled a nat 20 on their performance.
I look at Zeph in the tent because naturally we hate Aarakocra. It's just birds, and I just like.
Yeah, they're just birds.
It's not even magical. They're just birds.
Not super impressed or jealous of the flying skills either.
I'm glad you're not, because I'm definitely not.
As Dimitri re-enters on another side of the tent, you hear his voice booming across, much louder than it should be where he is, but still being heard throughout most of the tent. Feats of the sky are always a sight to behold, but now we will focus our attentions on the ground, as the Master of Beasts shows us his skills in taming ferocious ones. I give you Taidim, the Master of Beasts. And as that happens, you watch as more lights are cast on the main stage as an individual steps up. It looks to be an older humanoid, but with ears that kind of come out to the side, and these large kind of floppy ears that kind of point out to the sides. His face kind of compressed in with a large, like, bulbous nose, and his skin covered in this fine kind of tan, like gray tan fur. He steps up and kind of waves to the crowd, wearing what looks to be this very long kind of long robe that kind of is in a hood that comes up right behind like the back of his head and kind of comes down in this very long green robe, carrying a large staff with like these intricate carvings all kind of up the sides of it. He waves to the crowd and begins to wave his hand around. As he does, you can see the ground begins to burst forth with like flowers and grass and stuff like that everywhere he goes, kind of creating these natural effects, and the crowd is watching him as he does. And as this happens, he kind of finishes and turns around and taps his staff twice on the ground. At this point, a few other individuals step out, all wearing very similar style of like greens with like leaf designs and stuff on them, these like costumes, and stepping out with them would be... Are you a part of this group? Okay, so you, Zeph, step out with them with the costume they designed for you. And as the 6 of you all kind of step out, you watch as he taps his staff again, and you, from the top of the canopy, begins to lower a cage that's covered in like a very pretty like covering, but it begins to rattle and shake around, and you hear the crowd like gasp at the sound of whatever's in there. As it sets to the ground, there's a moment. The curtain pulls back, and you can see in this cage there is this massive, like, brown bear. Just
I'll lean over to Zeph, like, I didn't.
And it shakes the cage, and you can hear people like shrieking and like horror and like stuff like that.
I could have swore there was going to be a lady dancing in there.
As the cage shakes one more time, you watch as the bear like plants both its feet on the ground, and the cage just and falls down as the crowd shrieks in like terror.
Is this thing Mordu?
The size of massive brown, bigger than anything you've ever seen. As it begins to lumber around, swinging its paws at the animal tamers. So, as the tamers begin to jump around, much like clowns at a rodeo, beginning to distract the bear and like begin to like, you know, get it to like swing at them before diving away with expert agility and ease. Zeph, what do you do in this moment as this is happening?
So Zeph just like stands his distance. He's a little taken aback at first. He's like, "Whoa, it's huge." And then he just remembers back to this this little tiny owlbear cub that he found at one point when he was younger, and it's just kind of traded to the group, whatever, and that really just. It would act all ferocious and everything, but whenever that happened, he could just scratch it just right above the tail, just right at the tailbone. So he gets within 30 feet of it. He just kind of walks towards it and casts Mage Hand and gives a little scratch right there at the base of its spine.
Okay. Before that does, it's going to like swing your direction as it like tries to reach out towards you. We'll see if it hits. It is at disadvantage because it is not. Because it is.
Because it's on drugs. Because it's been drugged and it's.
Oh, it's one of those circuses?
That is a 13 to hit. Does that hit?
No.
Okay. So the bear swings at you. You easily step out of the way, and you cast a Mage Hand and begin to scratch. Go ahead and roll an animal handling check for me.
All right. Animal handling. -2. This better be good. So, 15.
A 15, not bad. With a 15, you begin to scratch, and you realize this bear kind of stops for a moment and kind of like gets a weird kind of like inquisitive look upon itself before it like shakes its head and then begins to like swing around again, like swing and haphazardly at these things. As you're doing that, you see the individual Titan kind of walks up to you and puts a hand on his shoulder and goes, "Keep it up." As he begins to walk forward, like raising his hands like majestically towards this bear, which immediately turns to him and like stands up on its feet. The crowd loses it. It's like, ah! They're waiting to see someone get like their head taken off. As Titan, with advantage, gets a 19 on his roll, is able to walk over and very gently just holds his hand out and watches as this bear puts both its paws back on the earth, shaking the earth underneath it, and it stares at his hand for just a moment, and then ever so slightly just kind of leans forward and puts its nose onto his hand, and you watch as Titan just lowers his hand, and the bear slowly just kind of lowers down with it and just lays down, and you hear the crowd. And he turns around and bows, and all the actors bow as well, all the glory clowns bow as well, as the crowd goes, "Yes! guys start standing up on their feet. You watch as gold is already being flung onto the stage. They are loving this. But you watch as everyone is immediately picked up. You watch as the bears, the rodeo clowns come over and put their hands on the bear's neck and help it as it lumbers off back behind the stage. It's like, just begins to lumber off back behind the stage.
I was hoping that bear was just going to chunk his shoulder out from behind, and that was how the circus
Anybody
There's
who
your
is
vial,
behind the stage? Is there anybody behind the stage right now?
I think
Well, I'm not doing anything right now.
Perception checks if you're behind the stage, just for fun.
Am I behind the stage?
I don't know. Are you?
I don't know what act you're putting me on.
perception.
Yeah, you'd be back there. They're getting ready for your act.
Hiding.
Okay.
14. 24.
Same.
Yeah. Not bad. For you, it's not hard to see, but you guys watch as the bear lumbers behind the stage, and after a few seconds, immediately just kind of like and pulls into this pile of a human being who gets up. Was like, was someone scratching my neck while we were doing that? This is weird, dude.
Oh my gosh.
He's a sham.
Hey, you were angry that they were drugging a bear. Now you're angry that it was a druid?
I'm just upset, okay?
I'm angry that he's a she. No, I'm kidding.
I'm just angry all the time. It's my character.
Here we go. Yep, there
Is it what?
Okay.
I'm just angry that I can't fly like
As everyone
eagle.
is coming back and congratulations are being passed around, Zeph, you are taking off the vest that you were given, and as you're putting it, hanging up on the little
It
hanger.
turns into a person too?
No, you hear.
Right.
And you can see standing with his back to the tent wall is Manny, just kind of standing there. It's like,
Hey, Manny. What?
not so loud, man. You get me in trouble.
Hey, Manny.
Don't look at me. Look that way. Look that way.
All right. Man, you're a really skinny little bugger, aren't you?
You don't get this far in the business if you don't keep your head on a swivel, all right? I got what you need.
Great.
Reaches into a little pouch, pulls out 2 vials, sets them in your hand. Still warm.
Yep.
He goes, all right. So, when do you plan on using them?
I mean, you know, if the crowd isn't loving it, I just thought it might add a little something to the show. So, I mean, I'd say just like take a seat, cross your fingers if you want to see what happens.
Yeah, all right. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Don't use it for the next 30 minutes, you hear?
I mean, do you even know what I'm doing with this?
I don't know, but you they had to be dead, right?
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Can I ask whose this is?
As he drops to the floor and rolls underneath the tent.
Manny is that kid at summer camp that has the hookup on Pixie Sticks. And it's the height of his coolness.
Hold on.
And he's never been able to do
Zeph isn't in any more acts, is he?
I don't think so.
He's gonna roll under the curtain too and see if he can grab Manny.
Make a perception check.
It has to be dead. Okay, give it 30 minutes.
Make a perception check.
That's not gonna cut it.
2? He's gone.
Uh-oh.
This is gonna haunt Zeph forever now. Like, did he cause the death of the person who will be dead in 30 minutes?
Kind of.
Okay.
Indirectly.
But he's not gonna waste these vials.
No, not now.
As that conversation is going on, Dimitri is continuing to keep the crowd going, and he's like, you have now watched the ferocity of the beast, and now watch the elegance of the human, as I bring you the Eudalian Dreamers, as he kind of points up to the top of the kind of stage area again, as at this point, you watch as these lights appear and illuminate this kind of bluish purple hue around the stage as these long ropes and ribbons begin to unfurl and land on the stage itself. Descending from the top of the ropes, you can see about 6 or 7 dancers. These long, kind of lean, elegant humanoids begin to spin and roll through the ropes and the ribbons, beginning in this intricate dance as they spin around and kind of coordinate this beautiful, just kind of I lost the word.
Burlesque.
No, not burlesque.
Cirque du Soleil.
Mesmerizing. This mesmerizing display of agility and skill.
No.
There is
Very different vibe.
one caveat. There's a much smaller actor among them who is trying his darndest to look the part.
Aww.
TBD. You're one of the ribbon dancers.
I believe in
So,
you, fella.
I need you to describe to me what TBD is doing, and let's see how well he does it.
So this is like those silks, the
Like a
aerial
silk, like an aerial silk thing, kind of.
Aerial soap band name called it.
But it is much more it is much more visual than anything, as there is the light that is going on, and there's also, it seems to be some casters along the sides casting these illusory images that dance across the ribbons and across the actors themselves. For all of them are wearing kind of this egg white kind of unitard, so it's almost like being projected across their bodies, these these shapes and images. It's very beautiful.
This
TBD.
episode brought to you by Quixotic, an art. I don't know. That's all I got.
Is that?
It's in KC.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's quixotic.
One would think
That's the guy who ran into a windmill.
it's based on that word. But yeah, we can nerd out later.
It's true.
I envision TBD is looking down at the other performers. And they're like, I think I can do that.
Okay.
So he starts going down the streamer,
Yep.
doing all those twists and
Yep.
all that stuff. And as he's going down, never having done this before, he's using small puffs of air from just whatever
Sure.
to kind of keep his balance.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an acrobatics check. We'll say because he's never done this before, we're going to do disadvantage for right now.
Acrobatics?
Yes, acrobatics.
Okay.
11.
11. Not terrible. But you are struggling as you're beginning to slide down. At one point, you kind of puff yourself away from one of them. You're like, oh, sorry. As you lose your grip and slide down a little bit faster than you're supposed to. You can hear some of the surprised grunts from the other actors as they're not expecting you to be there at that point. But you're trying your best. And they seem to recognize that you need some help, so they're going to try to assist you as they go. You watch as now they begin to do these spins where one of them kind of rolls themselves up and begins to unfurl themselves. And as they do, they let go of the ribbon and grab onto them and kind of swing on one of the more sturdier ropes and begin to spin themselves back up into it. You watch as the casters continue to draw this story across them with these visual aids as the music is continuing to play. As TBD tries desperately to keep up with them, as skilled and as lithe as he is. Go ahead and make one more acrobatics check. This time, just a straight one, because they are now negating your disadvantage by helping you as best they can.
You can do this.
Okay. 17.
Not bad. 17. You are getting the hang of it. But now they will roll for the entire performance. Okay. So the performance goes well, not as well as it could have. There definitely seems to be some people who kind of lost interest. I mean, after the giant bear that was on stage, it's it's ribbon dancers. There seems to be a few people not as engaged in the show, as it were. They're seeming to be distracted or looking away for some reason. As that ends, the people, there's clapping, there's applause, the actors all bow, everyone retreats back to the stage.
I was going to try something.
He was going to try something.
Oh, you're going to try something?
I feel like I noticed that the crowd isn't as into it.
Sure.
So I try one of the unfurling things.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So
you're going to try to roll down all the way to try to stop yourself? Okay.
But TBD, to kind of get their attention, is going to unfurl all the way and drop.
Okay.
Death drop.
But using water whip, whip himself or attach himself again to the thing and then pull himself back up.
Okay.
Like a little yo-yo?
So
go ahead and
like
do
a little suspense of did he just fall? And then
do I will say this is either acrobatics or performance. I will let you choose.
Acrobatics.
Use performance, you coward.
Okay. 23.
23. You watch as TBD kind of scales up one of the sides of one and begins to unroll himself as you hear one of them whisper, "What are you doing?" As you begin to fall down, you hear the crowd
That's
begin
my
to
boy.
pick up.
No,
As
my boy.
you fall away from it. And as you do, you reach out, and the little pack of water you still hold on.
With some twists in there.
With some twists there. The water goes out and creates the whip. As you pull yourself to safety, you swing down and land on the ground. Give them advantage. The crowd loves it. Ah! They all stand up, start clapping. They're doing good. Applause all over the place. Start throwing money again. The ones that were putting their money away, taking it out and throwing it back out. It is well received. Very good. Well, good case of improv.
Yeah, TBD.
There. Well done.
Yeah, Matt. That was a Matt evolution.
Matt. Steph, I got more money for the bank.
As that happens, you watch as Dimitri kind of steps in and kind of applauds. Give it up for the Eudalian dancers. A wonderful display of acrobatics and a little bit of hair-raising death stunts, apparently. And now, before we continue, we will provide you with a moment to refresh your drinks, stretch your legs, while we introduce our intermission act from Manny the Magnificent. As that happens, you watch the curtain opens, and you can see standing there is the little gnome in this long kind of Fantasia-style robe, who is like, reaches out and just waving at everybody. He's like, good evening and welcome. My name is Manny, and I will be baffling you all with crazy tricks of sight and sound and magic. Here we go! As he starts to literally put on the most 12-year-old magic show you've ever seen. Yep, 100%. Just
the people in the he opened his fingers up!
But it is a nice intermission show, so everyone is able to kind of rest and recuperate a little bit from as they prepare for the end of the show.
Zeph is going to watch to see where Manny comes off stage and intercept Manny.
After about 15 minutes of just kind of keeping the crowd interested, you watch as Manny pulls yet another looks like bird from a pocket or something and goes, "Thank you one and all once again. My name was Manny the Magnificent. Good night." And you hear just like from the crowd.
You did great, sweetie.
Shut up, Ma. As he steps down and he's like mumbling stuff, stuffing birds back into a sleeve.
Everyone else is out in the foyer at the intermission eating popcorn and paying for overpriced espresso.
Oh, 100%. But he does walk back to the stage.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Manny.
Holy shit! Oh, it's Cheese Man. What up? What?
So, my interest has been piqued.
You need
about
some more.
20
You need
minutes
some more.
ago.
Eat some more cheese, eh?
No, about 20 minutes ago you said I should wait for 30 minutes in order for this to be good.
Yeah, you're probably fine now. Don't worry about it.
So you're saying it's probably good now?
Yeah, probably.
Could you please explain in more depth where you may have acquired this? Not specifically, but under what circumstances?
Make a persuasion check.
I kill somebody. What can I say? Stab in the throat. It takes him 30 minutes to suffocate for some reason. He's very resilient.
Oh my god.
Cut off a dude's arms and leave him to dead. It's gonna take a minute, but it'll get there.
Yeah, a little bit.
16.
16.
I'm a cool guy.
Manny looks to either side of him. He leans over. Not really down, but over. He's still kind of at your hip.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Come here. A magician never reveals his secrets."
Just reach out and grab him by the throat.
Manny.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right.
He does a really good choking sound.
He does. I like how he's choking him.
Michelle, stop
Oh
choking Calvin.
Zeph, let's go. Let's loosen his.
One magician to the other. You like
hell,
that,
man?
You like that sleight of hand?
No, I freaking did.
I'm in the fraternity. Where'd you get it?
You in the fraternity? Fraternity what?
Magicians, go.
There ain't no such thing as a magician. What are you, a wizard? Yeah, sorcerer? What the hell was that?
It was sleight of hand, like I said. You want to see it again?
No, I don't want to see it
All
again.
right.
Where's this happening?
Back behind stage.
Backstage.
in one of the porta potties. Everyone's just walking by. Like, they're weird.
It's
They're into some weird stuff in that one.
Lucius is walking around looking for Zeph with Zeph's drink. He's like,
Oh God, I don't think there's porta potties in this world. Okay.
I was like,
I was wondering about birthdays in D&D
there's
on
birthdays.
my way over here. Speaking of normal things that we don't really ever hear about, bathrooms, birthdays.
Chamber pots.
I assumed it was just outhouses dug, set up around holes in
That's
the
a
ground.
good question. I need to factor that. I need to think about that. I need to dwell
Glick
on
is
that a
for
little bit.
sure a Scorpio.
So, Manny,
I call it the Stiga.
just tell me.
All right, jeez. I thought you common courtesy. Listen, you don't need to worry about it. I ain't kill nobody, but I got you what you need. Okay? And they're probably dead by now, so it's good blood.
All right, that's all I wanted to know. Yeah.
It's all good.
My request did not cause the end of their life.
What? No. What? You think I just go out and find people that I'm like, this looks like a good guy to kill? What do I look like?
You have a nice night, Manny.
Yeah, whatever. Thanks.
So what a loaded question.
My freaking birds go.
As he walks away, Zeph kind of pats the birds in his vest pocket that he lifted during the...
That is sleight of
I won't
hand.
even make you roll a sleight of hand check.
Thank you.
You have the
Thank you.
birds.
Oh my gosh, that is
alive?
the prestige.
Are they alive?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well. Yeah, they're alive.
He goes to pull all four
They're a
of
bit
them out.
ruffled, but you know.
He's already eaten one of them.
Tabidi, I got you some pets.
Ooh. Okay.
Birds.
As the intermission ends, there is one final act, which the circus is the big finale, as it were. I won't go into boring you all with how this one ends, but essentially it is a chorus of stories followed by it is very Cirque du Soleil style. There is a whole scene that is played out in this final showing, and now they are going to roll their final roll to see how well the show goes tonight. So, based on how well everybody did, they are going to go ahead and get advantage on their roll, and we will see how well received tonight's showing is. Oh, wait.
Yes.
There's one other show before this happens.
I can't really retcon. I feel like
No, I can retcon because before all that happens, so I still won't bore you because there is one other act to go.
Yeah.
You guys gotta keep me accountable to this, guys.
He told me not to say
There's
anything.
no route.
It's like, you know,
You were on a roll.
You guys literally made up a show. You're gonna do the... Ladies and gentlemen, before the final event of the night, as Dimitri begins to address the crowd once more, I present to you... We have shown you acts of flight, acts of dance, acts of story, and tonight I am pleased to introduce for the first time in Dimitri's show an act of skill beyond which the likes of none of you have seen. From far across the reaches of the world, I have brought to you marksmen who can hit with such accuracy that the gods themselves are jealous of them. I present to you...
The deuce.
You say that, and then you don't say a name, and out strolls Pothole from behind the curtain as a spotlight is following him to the center of the circle, and he is talking just beautifully, he's just thinks that he is regaling them with everything, and so dead silent, pin drop, and usually.
Real quick.
His little robot arms
I'm gonna give my
gesticulating.
talisman real quick because I know they're gonna do something important. So I'm gonna give my talisman to Kenneth.
Oh, sick. What does this do?
Can you do that?
Yeah, it says wearer of the talisman, so I can just it says hold on when the wearer of the wearer of your talisman. So I can give it away. That's the entire thing.
Okay.
That's like a D4.
There you go.
It's just a D4 whenever you need it.
How many times? Just once?
Don't use all my uses.
Which is how many?
3, but now there's 2 left because I used 1 today.
Can't you just sleep that off?
I can.
All right.
I'm just. It's like Lucius is just it's like here you go. And just
thanks, buddy.
It's like
I love
pat,
gifts
pat.
with conditions.
Yeah.
As Pothole is finishing his 2-minute monologue, just...
Everyone's saying, can you roll charisma for him? I just want to see how engaged everyone is.
At advantage.
Oh my god, that's 17.
No.
He is. The crowd is just.
What is that?
And as he finishes his
says it with
speech,
such passion.
he throws 2 plates in the air.
As.
Shoot, shoot.
Oh.
It's gonna be a 21.
Yep.
18.
Let me ask this first. You're using a pistol?
Oh, of course, yeah.
What are you using?
Longbow, and actually it's a 19.
Wait,
or
don't
20.
you have
I'm sorry.
proficient on
This
that
is plus
rifle
9.
now?
Yeah, but I'm just gonna. I'm gonna keep it with the bow. I have more.
As the sound of a bang and a shot go off, as both the plates shatter in the air, as the crowd reacts violently, and Pothole dips as plate pieces shatter across him. He holds up 2 more plates, throws them up in the air.
You shoot twice. Try and get them both. Try and get them both.
Oh, try to get them both?
Yep.
That one is 14 to hit.
Yep.
I just bow as she does it.
Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and use that talisman on this one. Oh shit. 18.
18. The 14 does not hit. As you fire the shot, it goes just across the edge of it, but it shatters across the second one.
Does it spin it as it spins it?
There you go.
Shit, is that a...
You can have like second
15.
15 does hit it as it shatters in the air from your shot as you bow down and fire underneath your arm, exploding it across the area. The crowd is going nuts. At this point, Pothole has made his way to the other side of the ring and is now 120 feet away from you guys as he holds up 2 more plates.
I'm gonna 2 in each hand because I'm gonna say 2s.
As he throws all 4 up into the air.
Okay.
Can you throw 2 in the air and 2 at me because I do not have 120 feet of range on this thing?
He arcs it towards you.
There we go. Okay.
23.
Hits.
And 17.
17 hits.
24 and 15.
Both hits. Arrows and bullets flying. Plates are shattering. It is super cool. At one point, Pothole stops and puts a plate on top of his head. He begins to spin it.
Yes.
And just stands there.
Yep, it sounds good to me. Meet in the middle.
Oh, 17 plus 9. It's fine. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 17.
Yeah. Just bang, shoo, as the plate, it spins and the arrow clips it and spins it the other way before it shatters into.
I'm going to do something really stupid. So we've got them where they're pretty warmed up.
Oh, yeah.
I look at Kenneth and just like do I say, I'm going to ask you to shoot an arrow at me. So I'm gonna go like 60 feet away from her, and I'm gonna like take my gun and like pretend I'm ready for the next one, put it away, and just draw my short sword like in a very like prepared to split the arrow style.
Okay,
this is gonna be so
roll.
Okay. Could I possibly shoot it like to where it would just go right outside of him, like outside him, wouldn't hit him directly, but like say I was like aiming at him, aim it aside.
That would be at disadvantage to try to aim at such a small spot.
Dude,
but yes, go ahead.
I'll shoot at him.
Hell yeah!
Shoot at him.
Take an arrow for the people.
I mean, I'm fully prepared to just eat one.
I'm gonna use that talisman again. I'm so sorry.
You use all the charges in the talisman.
We've killed it, so I really hope it whiffs at the end.
No, honestly, it wouldn't be a circus.
20, unnatural.
Unnatural 20. Go ahead and make an attack roll with your short sword.
Yours.
I'm kidding.
Just
want a high five.
Okay.
Love you.
Okay, 21.
You had to beat her attack.
Oh,
Dirty 20, 21.
Yeah, with just the barest moment of like, I'm gonna miss. You swing down, and as you do, you hear into the sand.
Can I? Oh, that's better than what I was
Split it with a sword?
Yeah, as he slices and 2 parts, not down the middle, but like in half. As 2 parts just land in the sand next to him, the crowd goes nuts.
Is there like a moment of silence?
Yeah, with two natural 19s on their advantage roll, the crowd is just locked in on this.
So proud of you guys.
As there's, I believe, one more thing you're gonna do. I believe you're gonna try to split an arrow with a bullet.
That was the cool thing that we just did. Was the cool thing.
That's what you're gonna do?
Oh, and expecting one more exciting thing.
Let's go, buddy. I'll shoot it up.
No, it's fine. If that's the end, that's the end. I'm cool.
I mean, if you want to shoot an arrow up, I will try and shoot it with my gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might as well.
Go ahead and roll. Just a straight roll.
I already defied death once.
Oh, natural 18 plus 9.
Fuck. God. Do I have to hit that?
Natural 18 plus 9.
How does this work?
That's
27.
a 27.
That's pretty solid.
Be a 27.
You're gonna have to beat it.
Wait, I'm doing it with skill for him to do it. I'm using that 27 to try to make it easier
To just
for
lob
him.
it. Just-
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to get under 27 to succeed.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, well, that
What'd
definitely
you do?
20. Unnatural.
20. That is sure. I'll say that's fine.
That's pretty damn
With-
skillful.
I just hit the fletching. I don't hit
with
center mass.
With that shot, you fire the arrow up into the air, and as it does, you watch the arrow goes up and immediately bursts into flame as a caster from across the way hits it with a firebolt cantrip. As it goes up into the air, you watch as Zeph fires the shot, and as it does, you watch as the arrow goes from this flaming sphere to 2 flaming spheres that just kind of burst off into the air and filter off into the crowd. And as it does, it hits both sides of the stage.
I'll cast Hail of Thorns and then... No, I'm
As
kidding.
it hits both sides of the stage, you watch as fire erupts from both sides as actors begin to spill out as the final act begins to reach its climax. You two begin to dip off as the crowd is up on their feet cheering and hollering. As the final act makes its way through, the crowd is on their feet. The gold is being thrown.
Oh, I brandished the hell out of my pistol.
Oh, you
back in
branch the heck out of it. The
Spin.
opening night has come to an end. You guys
I'm signing arrows for
killed
kids.
Oh
it.
my god. I'm signing shell casing.
Oh yeah, it's great. You're doing it without realizing it's draconic, so everything now is just like a weird spell.
Yeah, it's like these kids don't realize they have live rounds now. They're taking home.
I miss the days where that was probably a thing. It was like, hey, we're just handing out live bullets at the event. It's great.
That definitely happened.
I can imagine
In the
there was some men's conference somewhere where some
yeah.
guys got bullets at the end of the.
I have a pocket pistol.
Handing out boxes.
Be a man of high caliber.
Yeah, just some.
Here's your complimentary C4.
During this finale, this like post Super Bowl melee,
Sure.
Zeph is gonna go try to find Dimitri and just kind of sidle up next to him and hold up the 2 vials and be like,
So, the vials of freshly murdered humanoid blood.
Dimitri turns over.
Got any use for them?
I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna use them in the show, but it didn't really work out.
May I?
Oh yeah.
He takes one and looks at it.
No.
What are you planning to use this?
Well, I was gonna summon some demons, in case the show wasn't great.
I got some freshly killed human blood to
At
summon
least
demons
you're
with.
honest about it.
How candid.
I thought maybe you'd have a use for it. All I can do with it is summon demons, but I thought you might want to sell it on or something. I paid 20.
I don't believe I can sell it, but allow me to help you with at least one of them, yes?
Sure.
He takes it and you watch takes a little cork cap off of it and reaches into a pocket and pulls out another cap with a vial that's empty, and he takes the top off it, and it's a little like tin one with what looks to be this tiny little like sapphire set into the top of it. He sets it and spins it and kind of like pushes down on it, and you can hear like a sound as he crushes the sapphire into the metal on the top and kind of pulls it back out and goes, there. And he hands it back to you. It is now fresh human blood until the time comes for you to open it.
Oh, thanks. You want the other one for yourself?
I'll find some use for it.
All right.
We have a strange little sorcerer friend of ours who has an uncanny ability to find blood for us, so this might be useful to him.
Great. Yeah. He probably needs a couple more birds, too.
Sorry?
I'm sorry.
Nothing. Nothing.
I just imagine a roaring success, and Glyph is just like, well, let's just release a whole bunch of imps in the crowd. They'll love this.
They have like those shapes that stab you.
That'd be amazing. Essentially, from the aspect of the game, he basically preserved that blood to last until you use it.
Until I pop that cap. Okay.
Until you pop that cap, it is fresh blood and can be used as a component for your spell.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That will make this a lot less difficult. next time.
Yes, it will.
Why do
I still love the fact that you have to actively try to find human blood, but I'm giving you one.
Yeah.
for
Well, I
free.
have a free one.
You have a free one.
That's for the
So.
Mabim Bam tickets.
There you go. So as the night comes to an end, the gold is tossed. People are loving it. The crowds go away.
People throw gold at me for once.
Yeah, it's very odd for you. But the people are loving it. They're having a great time. The after party is a roaring success. The crowds have left for the evening, but the actors are still high on their adrenaline and just the success of the night. Gold is freely passed around. People are celebrating. You all receive
1,000 platinum, baby.
21 gold.
I'd take 100 platinum.
You all receive 100 gold pieces.
Hey,
That's not nothing.
Hey, hey.
I rolled a
Can
10 on my D10.
Yeah.
And you
Wow.
got 100.
Oh yeah. I'll give you
can I-
the talisman back. Don't try to use it tomorrow morning. Don't worry about it. No, just use it tomorrow morning.
Just try not to need it.
Just try not to need it.
It's
It was either that or I kill Zeph.
I mean, I wouldn't have died, but it wouldn't. I would
I
have.
love that she keeps
Get his name right.
Yeah, she got us backwards. She said Glyph is gonna summon lesser demons, and she would have killed Zeph.
Listen. I got a real tough time. Y'all look.
exactly the same. Y'all look exactly alike.
And we stand right beside each other. I'm like, yeah, there's no discernible differences.
No lie, I had cousins growing up. I could not distinguish their names. They look different as all get
She's
out.
a face-blind monster hunter.
As she's regaling you guys with the story,
Oh, sorry.
as she's regaling you with the story, because that's the best segue I could find. There is a sound of footsteps in the tent as individuals who are not some of the actors step in. You can hear the sounds of armor clinking as two individuals step into the tent. As everyone kind of turns around and looks and regards them, you can see it appears to be two guards dressed in. Sorry, I had it. I lost it. Nope. Give me just a second. They are dressed in the greens and reds of House Zahavi. They appear to be wearing their standard militaristic uniforms with the almost like berets on their heads and the long kind of billowy pants and the tighter shirts. One of them has a spear attached to their back and a small kind of buckler shield attached to one arm, and the second one, much taller with what looks to be this kind of like symbol imprinted on their beret, holds what looks to be two swords in sheaths. But they step into the tent, looking up and greeting everybody, but their eyes settling directly on the Draconians. As the height of the moment is immediately crushed by the sight of these lawmen, as it were, Dimitri immediately steps in to intercept, essentially is, welcome. I am so sorry if you were here for the show. You have missed it. We've just finished a very successful night thanks to my cast and crew. Can we help you? And one of them steps forward and goes, the one without the brooch on their beret and the buckler shield steps forward and goes, you can help us by arresting these two.
Why?
As he steps forward with manacles and is like walking towards you guys to like
Do we
to
all see?
place them
Do
on.
we all
Oh yeah,
see
everyone
this?
sees this.
I cast darkness on them.
What level spell is that?
The second level.
As you begin to cast the incantation, you feel the magic evaporate as you watch the one with the two scimitars twisted the handle of their scimitar, and there was a flash of light as your magic dissipates.
Well, nothing happened. I don't know why you're looking at me.
As that happens, you watch as the one with the manacles who's walking them stops and spins around. At this point, Dimitri immediately puts his hands on and goes, "There is no need for anything, Lucius. Calm yourself."
I'm chilling. I'm fine.
Then there is no need to cast magics while we
What
are in
magic?
the
Nothing
presence
happened.
of the town guard and under the order and law of the houses. I'm sure we can work this out. We are but guests here in this auspicious city. Perhaps there is a misunderstanding.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd kind of just like to know what
The one with the manacle goes, "There's no misunderstanding. These two were seen earlier tonight beating up a citizen of the city. They must stand trial for their crimes."
No, they've been here all night, respectfully.
Yeah, what do you mean, like earlier?
Yeah, I mean, he was in the first act. I was in the third act.
Thousands of witnesses.
That is true. Have you?
You watch for the first time this as this individual is gearing up to come back towards you guys, kind of stops and glances back at the other scimitar wielding who has not said anything, just stands there. They're kind of like very almost like oblong, slender face, just kind of watching the situation, not really making any comment. Dimitri is still standing between everybody and just kind of keeping his hands up. Sorry, Commanders, there must be some misunderstanding. These gentlemen were under my employ all evening. There was no way for them to leave and head into town. They were here all night. We can verify this.
I'm sure we can clarify this if you'd like us to come with you. We've done nothing wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem expunging my record for something I didn't do.
We know you're just doing your job. You didn't accuse us, and you didn't send the order to arrest us, so...
Kind of just doing what you're supposed to do.
As, again, the manacle-wielding one just kind of looks... It locked in, like, a weird position of, like, do I keep doing what I'm doing, or do I not do what I'm doing? Because now I'm getting, like, conflicting reports kind of a thing. Just kind of stops and turns around and looks at the one with the scimitars as... Mugan, what are your orders? And you watch as the other one stands there and kind of looks. I believe them. There is no need to arrest them. They clearly want the ones who committed the crime. Apologies for our misunderstandings. We were informed there were draconians here tonight, and our description of the attacker was draconian.
Wait a second.
Hey, hold on, there's
You got profiled, son.
Yeah, I don't like that, but we could probably help you with it if you've got an issue.
I mean, you said there were other draconians spotted.
Yeah, there's not really many of us around. We're kind of like the only two that we know of.
It was merely a description of the perpetrator. I'm sure it was a misunderstanding. We will sort this out on our own. Again, the sincerest apologies of House Zahavi for intruding on your time.
I'm sure you probably can't tell us this, but in the off chance that you can, could you maybe, I don't know, give us like a little information on who gave this anonymous tip?
Name the witness.
Make a persuasion check.
No, that'll go great for me. Yeah, that's a unnatural 1. I don't persuade people.
Yeah, I'm not messing with the cops, bro. They got counterspell.
As the individual kind of tilts their head and regards you and goes, "It is appreciated, but no. We will handle this perpetrator, whether they are draconian or not. But thank you for your honesty and your forwardness and willingness to cooperate."
Hey,
Yeah, let us know if we can be any help.
Yeah, because, I mean, the only, probably the best way to catch a draconian would probably be to use other draconians.
I think kobold rats were the best way, right?
Jimber.
Well, yeah, that actually would help too. But the thing is, like...
yeah, Jim Bar would like to hear about this.
They both turn and look at you.
Yeah.
At this point,
Lucius is like filled himself.
Dimitri kind of what he means, commanders, is that we accept your apology for the intrusion and hope that this does not get back to your superiors and shine poorly on your wonderful acts of service and your duty to the people of this fine city. So he's going to make a persuasion check, which of course he crushes.
Nice.
Bards. And both of them nod. And the one with the manacles puts him away and just kind of keeps eyeballing you. The one with the scimitars does not seem fazed by any of this.
That's totally fine. I got that guy.
As they turn back and look at you both. Again, our apologies.
None needed. Well, we didn't catch your name, sir.
I am Mugan Riza.
Mugan Riza.
All right, as we said, if you do need any assistance, we are keen to be of service.
Yeah, because, I mean, we've kind of been looking to see if there's any others like us that survived as well. So, I mean, if we could help you find someone, that would kind of be like a help you, help me thing.
Unfortunately, this person that was reported is now slipped our grasp, so we have no more leads as of now. We are going to continue our search and keep our eyes open, but obviously we are going to abstain from questioning you further as you two were not involved in.
All right. Well, we'll let you know if we find them.
You are more than welcome. They are part of your blood, I assume, and that is
Brood, I think is what they call them.
Yep, actually, I don't find that offensive because it's fact.
I think it's true, yeah. I think you've said that before.
very well.
I'm just used to you saying...
Are you guys all
racist
you guys are all related?
Oh, here we go.
Create.
No, I was asking, like, I don't know.
Good evening. And they turn to the other one. Yusman, we leave now. And you watch as the younger one with the manacles is like looking back and looks at all. Sorry. And turns and just kind of leaves behind.
Not a problem. Have a good night. Bye.
Yeah. See you. Good working, fellas.
As they leave,
on the
you
swivel
watch
out
as
there, boys.
Dimitri just...
You can.
Hey, what is it with circus people and almost getting arrested and doing the stupidest fucking thing you could possibly do? You tried to explode their heads. You tried to cast darkness. We smoothed things over. You then tried to make it worse again.
I don't know.
Could
I
we
don't
just
know,
not have
I don't
talk
know.
for 2 minutes?
Nothing's happening. I just moved my arms a little bit. I don't understand.
As Dimitri holds his arms up again and goes, one thing at a time.
I was trying to let you guys.
First and foremost.
Let guys run, because usually when they come in, they just rip their
First and foremost, you must understand. We protect our own. Sometimes we are a bit aggressive in this defense, but we protect our own. Appreciate this not escalating out of hand, given as we are guests in this fine city. More to the point, though, you did not tell me there were more draconians.
We did not know there were more dragons.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of...
Now that is an interesting story. And that is where we will pick up next week. With the question of, if it wasn't you guys, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
And is every cop in this town racist against lizards?
We don't know that yet.
Probably.
But we can assume.
And there's only 2 lizards, like, per square mile.
Well, technically 3, but...
Oh, maybe 3. We don't know.
Well, I'm talking about Pothole.
3.5.
Potholes.
But,
Pothole's fine not being...
he's literally 2 feet tall and inside of a jar.
He's evolved past being considered a lizard.
He's
I mean,
transcended.
People ask if he's a mech, for God's sakes. I'm like, there's a person in there.
Honestly,
But anyhow, we'll get into that more as the week goes on. Until next time, thank you guys for playing. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time on the Wild Magic School Bus. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Wild Magic School Bus. I hope you had as much fun listening as we do making this for you. You can catch new episodes each Monday on whatever podcast platform you use. While you're there, leave a review if you want. It actually helps us out. We've got socials too. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Wild Magic Pod or on Reddit at r/WildMagicSchoolBus. Either way, stop by and say hello. We're always happy to meet new friends. See you next time. Question for you. When you're trying to schedule sex with your spouse, but it's on a public calendar, what do you put as the title?
Take the car to the boner garage.
Wait.
Wait.
Parker Max truck.
Also, how public is this calendar?
Yeah, how public
It's
is
a church
it?
calendar.
Church calendar? Okay, church calendar.
I'm pretty sure that's what you call date night.
So we have date night
date
already on there, which I think is pretty obvious. I'm talking about
Double.
extracurricular.
Extracurricular, the laying of hands.
No.
We put family time. That's what I landed on. With
Family time.
I think you can be super obvious with it, and everyone will be like, "Oh, okay." You're like, "Oh, sex night." Be like, "All right, Drew, you weirdo."
That's fair.
good.
That's fair. Yep. But I think like the people who can see this may be her parents. In fact,
Yeah.
Even more
I mean,
reason.
they know
even more reason to put sex.
Your husband and wife.
sex night.
Your husband and wife.
Dude, just call it tomato jarring night.
Or like
we've
special
got a jar.
cardio.
Ooh, special.
Yeah, but then what if they're like, "Hey, I hear you guys have been canning tomatoes."
Oh.
And then
Also,
they
how many times can you can tomatoes?
could
It's
just
still a little early in the
Buy
season.
bought tomato sauce and like take the labels off and keep them in the cabinet just in case that happens.
Oh.
It seems like
true.
a lot of extra work. You could just call it like
That's a lot
special
of tomato
cardio
sauce.
or
Anyways,
extra
that's
workout.
Ooh, I know what I can put
What if you just put like an asterisk?
for ass, because they're gonna.
They're gonna risk it all.
Okay, I do have one more thing. Are we recording?
I did have a legit one though. I could just say, Groom Henry.
No.
Henry's the I'm gonna brush Henry.
I understand the joke.
That works. That does work.
Henry is our cat's name. I'm gonna brush the cat.
Yep.
You guys are perverts.
Nope.
All right, he's got long hair, and it has to be brushed out. He has a deep coat.
So. Wow.
He does.
Pause deep, baby. Pause deep.
We couldn't get the knots out of his belly, so we had to shave it.
The line between euphemism and reality, I don't like.
Yeah, seriously, that crossover. Like, we've crossed streams 5 times, and I'm lost.
Hold on. I started a new page for.